Tamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Any questions? So what we have been studying so far is that every one of us goes through 3 states of consciousness every day. Matter of fact, how do these states of consciousness come about? When consciousness functions with only vasanas, we are in the state of deep sleep. When these vasanas manifest and consciousness manifests through the mind and intellect, we come to the dream state. And when these thoughts manifest still further into actions, then we come to the waking state. So when we are talking of the waking state, implied mind and intellect, vasanas, consciousness. When we are talking of the dream state, implied vasanas, consciousness. When we are talking about deep sleep, implied consciousness is there. Okay, got that clear? Right? The previous things are all implied, they're already there. So when we say the body is functional in the waking state, the implication is mind and intellect are there, vasanas are there, consciousness is there. Because otherwise the body cannot function. So by implication, it is already there. So when we say vasanas, that means only vasanas and consciousness. All right? I hope that is clear because that's a usage. So that should be clear how we are saying it. So 3 states of consciousness, this is how these 3 states come about. The important thing for us to know is in every state, we believe this is all there is. When you are in deep sleep, you think nothingness. If you are in the dream, you believe in the reality of the dream. And when you come to the waking world, you believe in the reality of the waking world. Another fact. Right? Please note that we are only dealing with facts. When you are in the waking world, you believe this is real. Everyone believes. When you are in your dream, you believe that is real, whatever that dream was. Whether it was a tiger chasing you, or you getting a Nobel Prize, or Deepraj getting speaking fluently in Spanish, in Japanese, in Japan, whatever he saw over there, for him that was the truth. It was reality. And then in deep sleep, nothing. Fact. What are you saying? See, in the dream you believed you are being scolded. In the waking world you believe you are being praised. The belief is the same, right? So every time we have been somewhere, we believe that this is all there is. As a philosopher, it is our job to see the facts. At every stage, we have believed ardently, fully, completely. And we have 3 separate beliefs in a span of 24 hours. In our lifetime, we have spent 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Because remember, in the womb, there was no body functional really. There's no waking state at all. When you go into old age also, you will find waking state has reduced considerably. So it's actually 1/3. And yet you deny 2/3 when you say, no, that is not true. So then are we saying it is true? Of course, we're not saying that. How can we say that the dream is true, right? So the question is, what is true and how will you decide it is true? So we have a test to tell whether something is true or not, whether something is real or not. What is that test?
It has to persist in all periods of time.
It has to persist in all periods of time. It's real if it lasts. If it doesn't last, how can you even call it real? When you say this is true love, what do you mean? It's lasting. When you say this is my real name, what do you mean? It's the name you have with you all the time. You say, no, this is my real brother. This is my Rakhi brother. Have you heard of Rakhi brother, Madeline? Rakhi brother. Rakhi is in India, we are a rather flexible society, as you must be knowing. We are capable of a lot of adjustments. So if there be a person who we consider our brother, but he's not a blood relation also, you have to go tie on his wrist on a particular day, a Rakhi. A Rakhi is like a thread, decorated thread. And from that day onwards, he's your brother. So very simple, right? It's like life in India is quite simple like that, because we basically can do whatever we want here. So there's a real brother, there's a Rakhi brother. So Rakhi brother started at some point, but real brother means for your whole life, that fellow is your brother, whether you like it or not. You may prefer your Rakhi brother, but your real brother is your real brother. From birth to death, he will continue to be your brother. So whenever you say real, it means it was there in the past, it is there in the present, it will be there in the future. Right? So that is the test of reality, almost universally accepted. How else will you tell whether something is real? Anything that's a passing thing, a changing thing. It is called
unreal.
Non-reality.
Illusion.
Transient.
Impermanent.
Anything that is changing is called
Unreal.
Temporary.
The 3 states.
Non-self.
Unreal.
Very good.
Sorry, one at a time. What?
Transient. Sorry.
I can't hear you. Who's saying that?
Transient.
Maruti. See, anything, you all are all giving words for impermanent, but when I'm saying changing, it is obviously changing. So it can't be any synonym for that. If it is a synonym, it will be called begging the question. I hope you remember that. If you give an answer which merely rephrases the question, give a synonym. It's called begging the question. Meaning did not answer the question. So if something is changing, it is known as, oh, come on, you all know it, please. False. Asha, you have to give a better answer. You know it very well. And I tell you, you all will say, yeah, I know. What do you have to say?
Impermanent.
What?
Impermanent.
Impermanent is just a synonym for changing. So that will be begging the question.
It is what?
Illusion.
A dream. It's a dream.
What did you say, Manoj?
World.
Now, okay, you can say that. So another word for that is what? Another words.
Illusion.
Other word.
Terrestrial.
Oh,
Illusion.
we can't say it's an illusion. Can you say that this class is illusion? Do you believe that this is an illusion? Can you say that the class is not happening? Is it a mirage?
Ignorance. Ma'am.
Okay,
Can't hear what he's saying.
ignorance.
Ignorance.
I've read what's in the chat box too. No, come on, you all know the answer. You studied it in this chapter. You did, didn't you? But anyway, even if you didn't study it in this chapter,
Colored consciousness. Colored consciousness.
okay, you could say that. But when it changes, sure we did it. It is called, okay, matter. Come on, you all know it.
Maya.
Okay, you can call it Maya.
Mithya.
You can call it Mithya. But what is the word? If you know that the three states of consciousness are constantly changing, and while they are there, you have a full belief in their reality. This state is known as
Turiya.
Turiya.
Condition consciousness.
Conditioned states.
That has already been covered by somebody.
Belief.
Okay, I mean, you'll all know this. Bharat, Asha, Arun, everybody should know it. We've done it in class. It is known as, okay, give up everybody now.
Give up.
Give up, okay. Known as relative reality. A reality which you experience you go through, which you believe completely to be real while it is there. But before and after, you yourself will negate that reality. It is called relative reality. All have studied this, right? Yes. I don't know why.
Not really. Which chapter have you studied this?
What
Can't
are
recall.
you saying? How many times you must have heard it 1,000,000 times.
But how is this different from Maya? Same, right?
Yes, but Maya is used in a different context. That way you can say anything, as a conditioned consciousness, Maya, ignorance, you can use any word. We are now debating what is real and what is not real, right? So how did we find out what is real? That it lasts. But suppose it doesn't last, then this kind of reality is known as
Relative reality.
Relative.
Now you can talk of everything all over the world. It's just quickly. But if you're following the line of thought, then your obvious answer has to be relative reality. First, while it lasted, you knew it. You knew it to be real. But then you yourself at another time will deny its reality. Because nobody else is denying it for you. Nobody's saying whether your dream was true or false. Nobody's saying whether your waking world is true or false. You yourself say it. So this is known as relative reality. When you believe in it at that time, not before nor after, it is called relative reality. Suppose Deep Raj falls in love with a girl and he thinks this is the love of my life, and then he does all sorts of things for her. And then after some time, unfortunately, he finds out this is not the love of his life. So that entire experience that he went through, where he believed so much, where he did so much, where he was totally involved, one day he will come and say, no, that was false. So while he was going through it, what did he go through? He went through a relative reality. Right? So only reality is turiya because it lasts, is consciousness, because it lasts across the three states. It is never gone. Is that clear, everyone? So as long as it doesn't, as long as it lasts, it is real. As long as it changes, it only has a relative reality. Relative reality means for the person going through it, it is very real. For the rest of us, it may or may not be. Sometimes, people go through extremely strong emotions about something. It may be about politics or religion or something. They've got extremely strong emotions. And we as outsiders can look in and say, why is this person making such a fuss about it? But for that person who is going through it, it is so, so hardcore real. And for us who look from outside, it has so little meaning. What are you making this fuss about? So what is he going through? One day he will maybe himself say that, oh, I was childish. I know somebody who said, so why did you have this issue with that person? So many years ago. So I said, oh, I was very immature then. Just denying that whole that whole reality which you went through at that time. So when you apply to waking dream or deep sleep, they have got relative reality. Whilst in it, it feels very real. But rest of the time, all right, all clear up to this point.
Hari Om, ma'am. Yes, it's clear. I have just one doubt. Passions, right? Over a period of time, it reduces. That's, I think, most of the passions. So, see, at this point of time, let's say a person is very dedicated to his work, is very passionate about something or politics, and it is bound to happen. But spiritual sadhak, he knows that this is going to pass. So, do we have to step back, step in, or we just go by our gut instinct? This is very difficult to apply, right?
You don't apply any of this, Ganesh. This is for your thinking. That something can seem so real at one point, and I will simply negate it at another time. It is just to draw home the idea that, am I really standing anywhere on a firm footing? That questioning of the very foundation of your existence. It's not about how to deal with existence. That is not what states of consciousness can ever be about. How to deal with it is a different subject. But the fundamental question, do I have a firm foundation here? That is what we're examining here. So that gives you a different view of life.
Okay, just a follow-up question. So we deal with a lot of things. Sometimes really stupid things we deal with passionately. And as we are thinking, doing our studies, we feel that all this is nonsense. This statement, all this is nonsense. Is it right? Because when you are battling, you have to battle hard, or you have to menu your way through it so that a perfect solution comes. At the end of the day, you think that this is all nonsense. So is that statement right? I know what comes in your mind is right or wrong. So how do you deal with that?
If it is all nonsense is sometimes a hypocritical statement because you don't think so. If you really thought so, it would not be difficult to deal with it. Imagine that you are with a child and the child is all passionate about winning at Monopoly. And that child is doing little cheating while he is thinking. Yeah, he thinks you're not looking, so he just moves something here and there. Okay, now you genuinely think this is nonsense. Do you not know what to deal with it? You may also cheat a little, then he will see you, then he will fight with you. You're creating all this drama around this whole thing. You have no real interest, you're just entertaining yourself.
So to conclude, every activity we should look like a monopoly playing with a kid.
We can't do that. There's no way we can do that. We must live our true authentic self. Whoever you are, you live that. But something in you must question that.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, got it. Thank you, ma'am.
No, this is the thing that he always warns us about, that let's not become hypocrites on the path. It's so easy to be a hypocrite on the path. And it's not a hypocrite as in, you say you're very honest and you take bribes, not that kind of hypocrisy. Let's understand hypocrisy at a slightly subtler level, where you make a comment that you don't yourself completely buy or yourself completely understand. So you take stances without understanding what that stance means. So this view of yourself, that you're going to be authentic, one way or the other, you're going to be authentic. And to be authentic, though you struggle with it, you have no firm footing. So imagine if you really have these kind of thoughts, your whole attitude towards life is very different. It's not something you superimpose upon yourself. It's something that comes because you thought about it so much that now you just look at it differently. That's what the morning study is all about. You just take some time out and think about it. Otherwise, you get very badly stuck somewhere, thinking how good you are, how smart you are, how much Vedanta you know. And you just don't get that you're totally stuck. And even if your teacher tells you you're making a mistake, you are wrong. I am right. What can anyone say or do? So that authenticity, I don't know, it's each one of us has to find it from within ourselves. Nobody can help you there. Milind, when we are in dream, we are not aware of the gross body, and in deep sleep, we are not aware of gross body and subtle body. Yes, that's correct. If you're asking, is that a question? Yes, so that's correct, what your statement was.
Okay.
But you don't need to ask me because this is your experience, right? In deep sleep, what are you aware of? You don't know there is still Vedanta, you don't know you have a wife, you don't know you have a child, if you have a wife and child. You don't know you live in Kalyan, you don't know anything. Okay, in dream, you know something, but it's completely different maybe from what you think you know now. In dream, you know Mukesh Ambani. But in real world, now I say Adani. Adani is now third richest in the world.
Yeah.
Madeline, you don't know all the gossip in India. Adani is the richest man in the world. He's an Indian. So all the Indians are like, oh my God, you must have a lot of black money. In India, we don't say, oh wow, yay, Indian is the richest man.
Seriously, that's the first thing I thought. Thanks to his friends.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, yay, third richest man. One day an Indian should be the richest man. So, like everybody, in Greece, how is it? Do people say, yay, this guy is the world's richest man? No. Why? We don't enjoy other people's riches. See, it's so simple in life. You enjoy other people's riches. Why do you need to work so hard to get your own? Very simple. Enjoy yourself now. Oh, you spirit. Wow, 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 nice. You have all the pleasure of being rich yourself. So, excuse me. So, Milind may dream that he is Adani's best friend in the dream. But in waking world, all that is all gone. So what you know in the dream is very different from what you know in the waking world. Unless you know Adani in the waking world, I don't know. In which case, please do tell him that we are building a university and we need some funds.
Milind could dream that he's Adani.
Yeah, he could dream
Well.
he's Adani. He could dream he's the world's richest man. But
There is a problem.
so anything is possible in the dream, which in the waking world you look at and you laugh about. But whilst you are in the dream, you did believe it. So you knew nothing about the waking world. You believed in that and that alone. So it's your own experience. You don't even have to ask. The thing about Vedanta is that it is just telling us what we already know. Just putting into words what we already know. We know in deep sleep, nothing. We know dream, anything is possible. And we mock at it, oh, that was a dream. And in the waking, this is what is real. What Vedanta just draws our attention a little bit to is, though you are mocking that dream now, when you were actually experiencing it, you felt exactly as you feel now about that world. You did not at that time say it's useless. That time it was your world, no matter how crazy it was. If you saw cats fly, then well, cats fly. You would have put it down as a matter of fact. If you saw giraffes that were like 1 foot tall, then your giraffes would be 1 foot tall. That would be your fact. Then you imagine tiny, tiny 1 foot giraffes going everywhere. How cute, no? But yeah. So they will all be so cute, and you'll think, oh, I love giraffes. They're so tiny and cute. And now if you love giraffes, you say, I love giraffes. They're so tall. You know, when you go to Mauritius, they let you feed the giraffes over there. To feed the giraffe, you have to get up on a platform, like a story high, and then you can give the giraffe some food to eat. Otherwise, how do you feed the giraffe? It's so far above you like that. How can he take anything from your hand? So you go up on that platform and feed him. So much is clear. Now he's just going to summarize and tell us the same is true. The reality of the waking world is felt only by the waker. In one line, the reality of the waking world is felt only by the waker. Now, let's read further. Who will read? Oh, we finished this subtopic.
Yes.
Okay. So the reality of the waker is felt by the waker, reality of the dreamer is felt by the dreamer, and reality of the deep sleep is felt by the deep sleeper. Mukesh, regarding authenticity, can one then conclude, for example, thief, his, her nature stealing, and that is his, her authenticity? When we talk about being authentic, we talk about being authentic to our entire personality. A thief's entire personality is thieving. If that is all there is, then well, yes, that is authentic. But very rarely is a human being just that. So we have a bunch of stuff going on within us. One part of us is a thief, one part of us wants to help somebody, one part of us is a hypocrite, one part of us is authentic. So, you know, we have a million things going on in our head. It's nothing is unidimensional, unilateral. That's not how we human beings are. And that's the complication of being a human being. So now we have all these diversion things going on in our head. So to be authentic means that I am able to converge all these various divergent things into an authentic whole. That means now I'm true to my whole personality, all of it. And whatever that be, I should be. And how do you make it all authentic is by having a clear goal. When you think a lot and you say, okay, that's where I'm headed, that's how you become authentic. So you spend time thinking about it, you spend time gaining some information, knowledge about it, and then you're somehow able to amalgamate your whole personality into something. And that is that person you are. That's authentic. You don't take it through strands. Otherwise, say, oh, that person was so rude to me, so I was rude to that person because I felt like being rude to that person. That's not authentic. Be authentic to your whole being, because all of it is you. But the thing is, the difficulty in being authentic is how much are you amalgamating it all into a coherent whole. Okay, Mukesh?
Thank you. Yeah, that's quite a challenge when you said you have to bring everything into almost a center point. Is it by just thinking? Is it reflecting on?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you got a split personality.
Yeah, true. You've got all sorts of things going on. And in one hand, you're very generous. On the other hand, you're very miserly. And you'll see people function like that and say, why did he give this time? Why didn't he give that time? Because it's not all amalgamated. So it takes time, effort, energy, serious dedication. Because otherwise people are like going from one event to another event to another event, so busy with something. No time to step back and give it some thought. And that's why we don't achieve as much as we can, because it's so divergent. We're running off in 50 different directions at one time.
So, for example, if I know you already discussed this, we got millions of different what we call authenticity, but to bring it all in one place. For example, a person's authenticity is a generous heart, but at times he might want to give it to a certain person, but then not to another person. But he says called himself generous, so that's not really his authenticity, is it?
Yeah, I mean, depends on how much he has amalgamated. We can't take authenticity to just a strand.
Right. Okay.
Because then it becomes just functioning on likes and dislikes. I felt like doing it, I did it. I didn't do it, I didn't do it. That's not authentic. Authentic is the intellect is engaged.
Thank you.
In Sanskrit, the word for it is arjavam. It's translated into the text. Usually you'll see it translated as uprightness. But now uprightness is not a word that is used in English nowadays. But authentic is a more contemporary word. I think more people understand authentic than upright, because upright seems to have some kind of lost connotations. So if you read the text, you'll see the word uprightness. The word in Sanskrit is arjun, means you are true to yourself. I told you, that one Shankaracharya is like the Pope. Okay, one of the popes in India. We have got 4. So, I mean, he's not really a pope, but like not everybody takes his verdicts or anything, but is seriously in the high level. So one of them, because there are multiple, one of them used to start his Vedanta classes with this above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow us like the day thou canst be false to any man. Can you imagine that kind of tradition they come from. I mean, it's just rooted in tradition. And his invocation, his prayer was a quotation from Shakespeare. Just shows how important the whole concept is, because if we can't even be authentic, it means you're not even yourself. What are you ever going to become yourself? Okay, so shall we read? Oh, okay, is that okay, Mankesh?
Yes, thank you, Janki. Thank you.
Okay, shall we continue? Who will read the next paragraph? It will take very long to volunteer, okay? Fatafat,
I'll read, Janaki.
please.
In the waking, dream, and deep sleep states of consciousness, you become the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. All through your life, as a waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper, you refer to yourself in the first person, singular pronoun, I. But you know that the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper are distinct and different from one another. Hence, these three unequal factors cannot be I. I is not the waker or dreamer or deep sleeper. I is apart from them. The self that holds the three personalities together, the pure consciousness, the fourth state known as Turiya. Turiya means fourth. Turiya is the state of reality, the supreme state of peace and bliss. Those who have reached that state in different periods of history have declared that to be the absolute state of fulfillment. So this paragraph is saying that while we believe in each of the three states of waking, dream, and deep sleep states, that we are that we identify with any of these three as I, we do know that these are three distinct states, and therefore we cannot, these unequal things cannot be I. And different people in history have declared that the fourth state, the pure consciousness state, is what is the state of reality.
State of fulfillment. Yeah, very good, Mamita. I hope this point is clear. Why is there no whiteboard here? Where was that whiteboard, Omkar?
I think I'll have to meet with the co-host.
Oh, okay, Nick. Still not there. Okay.
It's at the very bottom.
Not there. It has security, participants, chat, share screen.
Share screen. Share screen.
No.
Share screen?
Share screen.
No, not share screen. Next to
You see the whiteboard in share screen.
Is it?
No, next to more.
There is no more.
Options are there in the share screen. When you click on share screen, there will be a whiteboard. You need to click on that.
Okay, that. Yes.
Click on more, you will get the option of whiteboard.
I have no more over here.
Oh.
So, okay, forget it. You do it, Omkar. Can you write? Omkar, can you write I is equal to, leave some space. Yeah, make it a bit bigger. I, leave some space, is equal to W. Then next line, I is equal to D. Next line, I is equal to ds. Okay, now as you see this formula, I is equal to W, I is equal to D, I is equal to ds, then it must necessarily follow that WD, W is equal to
D is equal to
D equal to ds.
Yeah, is equal to ds. Right? This has to follow. Everybody's clear up to this point, right? Anyone has a problem up to this? If I is equal to W, I is equal to D, I is equal to ds, then it has to follow that W, D, and ds are all equal. Now, is it true that the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper are all the same? We know for certain that it is a not equal to. Can you make it a not equal to? How can you make not equal to? Okay, I don't know how to make it not equal.
I don't know that.
Yeah, okay. So W, D, and ds are not equal. If W, D, and ds are not equal, therefore it will follow that I cannot be the waker or the dreamer or the deep sleeper. Simple?
Omkar, you can put a slash sign and give another equals. That's how we write not equals.
Okay, so well, he seems to have done something. Yeah, this is fine. So therefore, the up one also cannot be true. If this is not true, then put that same strike through the other three equals. Benny, okay, whatever you did in this red thing, do the same thing there, yeah. Whatever. So anyway, you all got the point, right? The point being that if these three states are not equal, how can it possibly be equal that I is equal to these three states? That can be possible. That's all he said. If waking, dream, and deep sleep are not exactly the same, then you cannot say I is the waker or I is the dreamer or I is the deep sleeper. So that I has to be something else. What that something else, we don't know. We call it a name. That name is Turiya. Turiya means fourth. Why are you calling it the fourth? Because you already had three, waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. So now it's not the waker, dreamer, so you say it's a fourth. It's just like a fourth. So the word Turiya means fourth. So it just means fourth. Means something else. That's all it's talking about. Okay? That's what this paragraph said. Okay, shall we go to the next one? Who will read the next one?
I will read them.
Please.
The fourth state is proclaimed as the real state, your original self. You are unaware of your real self. The nature of yourself is infinite peace and bliss. You have lost your original nature. You try to regain peace and bliss from the world. There is a constant pressure on you to gain more and more. You don't stop this pursuit until you reach your original state. Only a few rare souls who have reached the state of self-realization have ended the pursuit of happiness. They do not find the need to pursue it anymore. Absolutely fulfilled, they revel in the bliss of their own self. The pressure to gain more happiness ends when one reaches one's original state of infinite bliss. Shall I continue?
Yeah, please summarize.
So it says, we are continuously, one is continuously pursuing till one reaches original state, and the one who has reached like is no is always reveling in that.
Good. Now let's go back to the first line. The fourth state is proclaimed as the real state. Your original self. You are unaware of your real self. This is not a statement that they are making. Please understand that. This is not a statement told to you. This is something that you already know. How do you know it? If you have examined already that you are experiencing different realities and believing very many different things at different times, then you already know that you don't know what is real. And we're just calling that, whatever that reality be, forth. It's just a name. All they have done is given it a name so that we can talk about it. But that you are experiencing the unreal, and that you do not know what is real. This is not something that needs to be told to you. Is this not a fact that you do not know what is real? Whatever that thing which is real, we're just calling it a word, turiya. It means fourth. It says nothing. It just says that you know three, there is a fourth. This is a matter of fact, that we don't know what is real. Please note that there is no assertion about what is real so far. All that is being said is, whatever is real, we are calling it turiya. As long as you don't know something real, you always feel a pressure to go seek something. This also is something we have experienced, isn't it? Imagine that you ate food, but that food, somebody told me this, that a doctor told him to go gluten-free because he was having some issue. So the doctor said, go gluten-free. Now this is a hatta-katta Punjabi admi. Okay, Punjabis imagine eat gluten. That's their life. So all his life he has eaten parathas and chapatis and basically gluten, wheat. Now he's suddenly told that he can't eat it. So he was given millet and all sorts of other things. But he made this statement, which I thought was very telling. He said, I have eaten, but I have no satisfaction of eating. And that sentence, I heard it 20 years ago, has stayed with me, because isn't that the human experience? We have eaten, but we have no satisfaction of eating. We have eaten with our eyes, with our nose, with our tongue, with our ears. But where is that satisfaction? Have we got it? We got it at all. How much have we struggled? How much have we eaten? How much have we done? Where is that satisfaction? Still we feel an emptiness. Still we feel a pressure to go get something more. That's what he's drawing our attention to. The pressure has not gone. The satisfaction has not been gained. In spite of the fact that you have done whatever. And you gain success at your endeavors, not even that you failed at your endeavor. You even gained success. And yet it wasn't gained. How is this even possible? Imagine that man. I could really relate to that statement. I don't know if you can. I have eaten, but I feel that totally dissatisfied. I don't feel like I've eaten. And I know that I've eaten. That's what he's talking about. But why would seeking the unknown be more satisfactory than seeking the known? Madeline, because the known is not fulfilling you. You have sought it. You have achieved it. But you continue to feel the pressure as if you have not. Imagine a person who, imagine Adani. He's the world's third richest man. Is he satisfied? Do you think he's satisfied? Or do you think, I don't know how it feels to be the world's third richest man. What is that money also? I cannot understand how much money must be. I mean, whatever that is. But the big question as a philosopher is he satisfied with his life, with his whatever there is? Is he satisfied? Would you sit him down and say, Mr. Adani, are you satisfied? And would he say, yes, I am? I mean, not because he's saying it, but in his heart, is he satisfied? From our experiences, what have we seen? We have seen that no matter how much we have got, we are always ready for more. Who here feels that I don't want anything more? We are always ready for more. No matter what we have. It's all the time. We're eating and ready for more. The only time we are sort of satisfied is when we fall off to sleep. In deep sleep, now we're not asking for anything. Rest of the time, all the time. Then what was the use of all that I have eaten already? So he is not saying that it is so. He is making no statement that it is like that for you. He's saying, is it not so? Is this not a fact? Because Vedanta only deals with facts. No matter how much we get, we are ready for more. That is why the mind is compared to the fire. You can put anything into the fire, it's ready for more. You see these massive forest fires they show on television and they say, oh, so many people died, so many animals are staying. But is that fire saying, oh, I've done so much destruction, now enough, now I'm satisfied, I'm going home? No, fire will continue. And that's our mind. I have seen women who have extremely well maintained homes who feel something is lacking. The most beautiful woman feels something is lacking. The richest man feels something is lacking. Forget them, you say, who knows what they feel? But look at us. Do we not feel something is lacking? And do we not have a pressure to get that thing? So he's saying, no matter what you've got, the pressure is still there. Is it not? So he is not making a statement that, wait, what was your statement? That seeking the unknown is more satisfactory than seeking the known. He is not making the statement. He is saying, whatever you have sought, where is the satisfaction? Excuse me. This is something for us to take pause about. Because all of us in this class, at least, are people who have been through life, It's not like we're dealing here with teenagers who've seen nothing and they are stars in their eyes. We have been through life. We have, of course, some youngsters like Deepraj. We don't know how much he has seen, but are you married? You're not yet married, Deepraj. So you have some more stuff to see. But the rest of us, most of us are sort of older and we've seen a lot. We've got a lot. We've achieved a lot. We've done a lot. But he's asking the question. So read this paragraph very carefully. Can you put it again on the screen, Omkar, please? The fourth state is proclaimed as the real state. We're just calling it a name, okay? This is the original self. You are unaware of your real self. You are unaware of your real self is a statement of fact. You don't know who you really are. It's a statement of fact. Now in English, when you write the word self, okay, and you are using a capital S to indicate it's the real self. In Sanskrit, the word is Atman, and there's no capitalization. So your sentence would be, you are unaware of the Atman. You are unaware of yourself. The nature of yourself is infinite peace and bliss. Now here is what we don't know. We don't know if this is true or not. You have lost your original nature. This we know is true because we are not in infinite peace and bliss. Definitely this is true. So we are not happy is correct. So what do we try to do? We try to regain the peace and bliss from the world. This is where the trouble starts. Suppose you have had a meal and you're dissatisfied. You keep going and pecking at something more because you are dissatisfied. So you're asking for something more. There is a constant pressure on you to gain more and more. This you know, no, as a matter of fact. There is a constant pressure on us to gain more. You do not stop this pursuit until you reach your original state. So until you know the truth, until you know the reality, why would you stop it? Only a few rare souls have reached the state of self-realization and have ended the pursuit for happiness. So you're going to ask, so by reaching that, why would you stop this pursuit? Whatever that, we don't know what the real self is, right? So how, by reaching that real self, how by understanding myself will I stop pursuing the world? That's what he's explained. Those who found it have ended the pursuit of happiness. Why? They don't find the need to pursue it anymore. Why? They are reveling in the bliss of their own self. No more pressure to get anything. Is that conceptually, let us be clear about this. Omkar, who is the you that has lost the original state? And if the original state can be lost, how can it be a permanent state? Omkar, don't focus on that at the moment. These are your permanent questions. I have now, everybody knows what is everybody's permanent question. This is one of your permanent ones. Don't focus on it right now. Focus on the point he's trying to make, which is that here we are calling that state, whatever it be, we're calling it a name. We're calling it the fourth. Okay, you have lost it. That is a matter of fact that I don't know my real self. Everybody can understand that much. You try to gain peace and bliss from the world. Yes, we do. There's a constant pressure for more. Yes, correct. You do not stop this pursuit until you reach your original state. This I don't know. But even if it be true, why is it true? There's no pressure. Why is there no pressure? Because they're just being themselves. Just be yourself and there is no pressure. Now he's explained that in the next paragraph. How is it that what is this concept about when you are yourself, there is no pressure on you?
This Kalyan here,
Yes,
this statement is that you do not stop the pursuit of happiness till you reach the original.
I mean, the whole study is saying that you stop that pursuit because that is futile. But the statement is saying that you will reach the self only after you exhaust all your pursuits. So somewhere I'm seeing some contradiction.
No. Say your two again. You cannot reach that when you stop this. When you reach that, you stop this. That's the cause and effect relationship. These are your two statements, right? Is it that I do not pursue the world to reach the self, or is it that I pursue the self and then stop the pursuit? It is that you pursue the self and so the pursuit will go away. It can never be that you stop pursuit of the world, because that would be hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy because you have the desire, you want it, and you're saying, I won't do it. So that doesn't work. So remember the philosophy of crowd out. Crowd out the bad. Means you do so much good that there's no time to do bad. By good and bad, I just mean productive and unproductive. Do so much useful stuff that there's no time to do unuseful stuff. Okay,
But
the way you have heard it earlier, because you said, no, I heard both, then the way you heard it earlier is the only way to detach from the lower is to
step to the higher.
Go to the higher.
Attached to higher.
You cannot drop the lower. It's not possible. If there was a ladder, you cannot leave your foot from the lower rung until you have established on the higher rung. Otherwise, you simply fall. So you are not discouraged from pursuing the world. In fact, you're expected to make a success of your pursuit of the world, but of your interaction with the world. Just not pursue the world. Pursue the self and take care of whatever worldly things you have. In fact, that's the right way to do it. Your attitude is always, does this help me reach the self? And then work. So imagine what kind of worker will you be? What kind of...
But then you land in the trap which Madeline is saying, no? That you're not satisfied with that known.
Because you're never trying to get satisfaction from that. Your focus is on the self. So why are you trying to get satisfaction from that? You're doing that because you feel it should be done. No, you're not doing it for any kind of satisfaction. You're doing it because it's the right thing to be done.
Okay. Right.
And last thing we'll take of Bharat, the freedom from relative pressures also experienced when a desire is dropped, right? Yeah, but follow the line of thought for now, which is, it's the same thing, Bharat. When you attach to the higher, the lower will fall off. But here we are talking about how you're actually doing it through the process of thinking. It's the most effective way of doing it. So you are learning to question what is reality. And so everything that is unreal will drop off. So that's the line of thought as of now. But what you're saying is also true. It's just a different phraseology.
No, it came from the experience, the statement that those who've reached the final state have claimed complete happiness. So I'm saying even our own experience says that when a desire is dropped, you feel that sense of pressure release.
Yes, correct. You feel to the extent that you're move forward, the pressure decreases. That's right.
Thank you.
So